All right. Trash. Let's see if this cuts. Oh, way better. Amazing what a new blade will do. All right. Hi, everyone. I was just doing a little side prepping here, and I wanted to show you two things. They just announced that on June 21st, which is 2 days from now, if you have an order $75 or above, you can qualify for free shipping. So that's pretty awesome. I will put my new host code. Actually, my new host code is on Facebook. I just have not updated it yet. And I wanted to show you this gigantic little splatter here. So when I was filming the end of a video today, and I'll show you the video, or show you the card, I should say, I made a huge whoopsie. So this, stay tuned. I'm going to try to get this uploaded. Just give you a little tilt. I can't show you too much because part of it is still wet. But when I was filming today, I had a massive spill of my fine tip liquid glue. It went all over, as you can see. So part of it is solidified, part of it isn't, but I just thought had to share this. This happened probably 6 hours ago, and it still is so thick it didn't dry. So that was just my, in case you missed that, when you see the video tomorrow at the very end, you'll see that, which was just a hoot, not in a funny way. So today I have a couple cards I'm going to share with you. This is the Hello KIWI stamp set. And this is one of the newer ones in the annual catalog. And I went ahead and added the Charming Sentiments. This actually also has a coordinating set of dies, so it cuts everything out. So it's nicely outlined in case you haven't seen it. So I created a couple cards, and I'm just going to show you those. We're going to make a different card, but I will do another video for these as well. But I thought we could do a little simple card today. So this one, I was just kind of playing around, and I was thinking I had this card base cut, but it was too large because this is the way I used to fold them prior to how I fold them now to do a gatefold card, and they were overlapping. So of course I went ahead and trimmed it down, and there was a gap, as you can see in the middle. And I was like, well, how can we fix that? So I just ended up sticking a piece of Blackberry Bliss on there, and I cut off a piece. I'll show you. This is the newer 2022-24 in Color Designer Series paper. So this is just a little 1/2-inch piece. I put that on there. This is Parakeet Party. I think this is my favorite in color grouping of paper that we've ever had. It's so fun. I love the colors. But I really, really liked the old one because we had plaids in it as well. But I do like the dots and the stripes. Probably the least used would be the hearts. So I'll just use this side instead. But in case you hadn't seen that paper, it's really pretty. This is a 6x6 stack. It's 24 sheets. So if you're looking, it's 161645. That's a great bundle of papers to have. So I just added a little bit to that. I stamped the raspberry. We'll call these blackberries in the background, and then the raspberries are in the foreground. But I stamped these, and then I ended up just fussy cutting them out. But I was kind of trying all different combinations. So I did some of them with ink, and then I colored them in with these various Stampin' blends that I'll pop on here for you. So these are Berry Burst, and then these are the new color. I almost wanted to call it Cotton Candy, Bubble Bath, because it kind of does look Cotton Candy-esque. So I just did various hues of these for the raspberries in the front. And these in the back are in Blackberry Bliss. I stamped the background image or the fill-in image with stamped off, so 2nd generation, and then the outline was done 1st generation. So that is that card. It was really fun. I just used the splatters on here just to kind of bring it together. I think it's really cute. And then being honest with you, here on the inside, I originally stamped it in Parakeet Party, and it was just too light, and it was also a little bit, I think my ink pad was just oversaturated, so I ended up stamping it again, but I knew I wanted to kind of off-center, and it just worked out really well because I can't always do that intentionally. So that started, it turned out much better than I expected it to. And then I had a little extra blackberry. This one went definitely much more black because I used light Blackberry Bliss and dark Berry Burst on this one. So I stuck that one on the inside. So that was really fun. And then the other one that I had when I was fooling around is this cute KIWI card. Originally, I was going to have the kiwis on the inside and just have this blank, so it would be a surprise. But when I layered this together, it looked much better with the kiwi on this side. So one other thing to note, when I stamped these, this is a crumb cake base. This is just, it's only missing just this little piece here. So it would be a normal card panel, 4 1/4 by 11, but there is a portion of it missing. So I'll tell you, instead of 5 1/2, 3 1/4. So it's missing about 1 3/4 of the cardstock. But what I did is I stamped first the outline image in white craft ink, and then I stamped over top of it with Lucky Limeade, not Lucky Limeade, geez a whiz, Lemon Lime Twist. Lucky Limeade, that was a good color too, but I don't have that one right now. And then I did the outline in all of these with Memento. But the other thing that I added, and this is one of the things I wanted to show you. So I loved these. These were the Enamel Dot Essentials. And this is something that has since retired. But what I did, and this was kind of like a long version around the story. So you can see I did 3 little dots here. So these are the Pearlized Enamel Effects Basics. So you have red, a pearlized kind of white, and then it's not black. It looks black, but it's more of a gray. So I originally put these dots down. And then I was thinking, what if you wanted to do your own dots, which you could, and then I put these on with glue dots. However, the cool part about this, and I didn't put all these on just to save one to show you, but you actually don't even need enamel dots. So what I did, I'm going to show you with something that's a different color so you can see the difference. So I still have this regular sheet of acetate, which has the rest of the dots on it. So you take your bottle, and the only thing you want to do is you do want to make sure that you prime it so that you get a nice dot. The cool part is if you use these that had any kind of an embellishment on, there is a little circle where the glue dot is. So what you can do is, I just want to prime this to make sure it works out okay. So this is definitely not quite so red. It's more of a pinkish red. So what I do is I kind of just go to the area and follow, squirt. I think the hardest part that I haven't gotten yet is how to get rid of that little swirl. And you can make them as large or as small as you want. You just want to make sure you have space in between. You could do little ones. And let's see, we'll do a bigger one up here. So you kind of can, once you work with it, get the technique that you can kind of round it out so you don't get those little Hershey Kiss ends to them, whatever it is you want to call them. And then you want to make sure when you're finished, you just tap the bottle, just kind of move the stuff back down. And then the other thing you could do if you wanted to, and I've kind of experimented with this both ways, and I don't really think that I've noticed a difference, but you can kind of lightly tap to settle them if you want. But the key to this is you have to do these and then let them fully dry, okay? When you're finished, and I'm going to pull off, so the only one that's wet right now is the red. I had some white ones that I did, and I had some gray ones. So I'm going to just pluck one of these off. So originally, I kind of thought maybe you might need to have a glue dot. However, what you can do is you can pick these up, and you can set them. Let's see where would a good one be. Put one over here. And they will stick. So you can make them on here and transfer them to whatever it is you're creating. And you don't even need a glue dot. Now, I did use a glue dot on this one because I didn't realize that till after the fact. But I thought that was pretty cool because we do have another set of this. It is metallics. I believe it is silver, copper, and gold. I could be mistaken. But if you keep your acetate from your embellishments, because, you know, they all come on these type of sheets, you could essentially make your own. The only thing is you definitely have to make sure you give it time to dry. So I don't know that I'm the first person that thought of this, but I thought it was too good not to share, even if somebody else has already done this as well. So if you have little pieces of acetate laying around, especially because you can kind of follow the size, these are really difficult to probably see on camera, but when you're at home, you can see the size. So larger, medium, smaller, and you could just fill it in and make your own little DIY. I thought that was a really cool idea. So anyway, there's that portion, which I told you I was going to tell you about. And then we're going to make a KIWI card. So I kind of just have this in my mind. I don't really know necessarily what I want to do with it yet. I have a 4 by 5¼ piece of thick whisper white, basic white, whatever it is we call it. I still call it the other thing. And then I have a piece of Parakeet Party. So this is 5½ by 8½ scored at 4¼ so that's already folded in half. And what I wanted to do, so I saw this, I don't know what the stamp company was, but I thought it was a cute idea, so I figured we could try it. So we're going to need the large and, just to start, these are just the insides. The large and the small of the KIWI. We'll do the outline part in a minute. So I'm going to put this on. And this is just something simple, kind of like a hello, thinking of you, something like that. Their sentiment was something about like KIWI catch up soon or something to that effect. So I'm going to just kind of line this up, just estimate so I can see where I want it. And I think what I'm going to do is a larger KIWI and then maybe one here. And I think what I might even do, I think I'm going to mask one. So I'm actually going to put this, I'm going to do just a little bit of masking. It doesn't really necessarily have to be perfect. So I'm going to just stamp this with, on our masking paper, but I'm going to stamp it with just the green because I'm just trimming it out. So I'm going to grab this. Let me move these two over. So I have our masking paper. Let's see which one is the release. So the other side is here. I'm going to put one. And it doesn't have to be perfect. So I'm going to just snip this out really quickly with my scissors. And I'm trying to stay pretty close to the line because if you were to have a little bit of overlap versus underlap, you'd rather it be just a little bit too tight. So what I'm going to begin is stamping this inside. And let's see, I'm going to kind of eyeball. So if I have this one here, this one in the back, and maybe another one on the other side. So I'm going to eyeball where this one will be. I'm going to stamp this right here. And I'm going to just move this right out of the way. Now, since this is photopolymer and it is a solid image, you definitely want to give it a little bit of time to transfer. You're watching an Outlander ad. That's hilarious. Thanks for watching, Kathy. All right, so there's one. Now, this is going to have the outline on it, so I'm going to go ahead and stamp that. Let me just wipe this guy off real quick. Okay, and I'm going to pop in. I'm going to actually use my VersaFine. Even though some of the ink is going to transfer off, I'm going to do it because it does take a little bit to dry, just because it gives you such a nice crisp edge. Crisp image, not crisp edge, crisp image. Okay, so there's that. We want to leave that. That actually is really, 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 really white on the inside. So I did even look up KIWIs just to verify. So now I'm going to take my release paper off of the back of this masking paper. And I'm going to just put this over top. I'm really more so concerned about the top portion because we're going to be stamping here. So if I don't get the bottom, it's no big deal. So we're going to go ahead in with our KIWI, our full-size KIWI, I guess I should say. And you probably necessarily don't need to do this in black. So that's probably the better thing that I could say, is instead of doing it in black, you could do it in espresso, which, why didn't that dawn on me? Because you know that KIWI are a little brown and fuzzy on the outside. So I'm going to grab that one instead. And again, I don't know if this does or doesn't line up some way specific, but I'm kind of just eyeballing where I want it. And it will be dark enough on the inside that you could call it black. So we'll go like that. And I might have missed the edge just a little bit, but okay. So it is fairly dark. So we're good with that. Now what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to go in with, I'm sorry, my espresso is in the way here with where my drink is. Before I move on, I have my pecan pie. And I'm going to go in. I probably could do this with my blend now that I think of it. Yeah, we'll go with light. I'm just going to go around. Yeah, I'm going to use the brush tip end. I'm going to go around the edge because we're going to make it a little bit bigger at the top. So this is going to be the more broad end of my kiwi. And I'm coming around this way just to add a little bit of, I guess, kiwi fuzz, if you will. If you think of if you're looking at it, you're going to see more on one side if you're visualizing it. So if you're looking like this, if you're looking at this as a cylinder, you're going to see more on the top versus the bottom and the side. So that's kind of what I'm going for. So I hope that makes sense. I'm going to bring this up just a little. We're going to fade that out there. And just a little bit more. And you're obviously not going to see this part because it's behind. Okay, so that was light. I'm going to grab a, this is probably my, if I were to bet, yeah, espresso is what this one was dipped in. So I'm going to go ahead and dip this with pecan pie, my blender pen. And we're going to kind of just add a little bit of wisp, like the fuzz to it. And just bring a little bit to the edge there. I don't know. This one isn't one that I've made. This is just an idea that I saw. So I guess we're going to have to see how it ends up turning out. It could be not as good as I thought. Or it might be really cute. We'll see. Okay. And then I'm going to do one other thing. So that was just the blender pen and the ink. Now I'm going to grab the dark pecan pie. And I'm going to just come just a little bit closer to this espresso line. So it's just a little bit darker right where this meets the edge. Because I have a little bit of ink that went just outside the lines here. Okay. Looks pretty good. And I think the only other thing I might do, and I did this before, lemon lime twist is definitely a little bit lighter. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to very, very lightly just kind of go over here and bring it in. Because there's probably just a couple little areas. I mean, it's obviously creative license, but I feel like I want this to be just a little bit more filled in here. Okay. Now we're going to peel this up. Looks cute. I probably could have done this way as well. I'm going to save this. I'm just going to stick it on the inside in case I decide to do another one this way. And I think I'm going to do just a little bit of the same here. So I had the light pecan pie first. And come around the edge. I don't really want too much. I'm really trying hard to make sure that my head isn't in your field of view. I'm going to come back in with a little bit more of the regular ink. Again, blender pen and pecan pie. And I really just want to add like that little bit of fuzz. Now, depending on how you slice your kiwi, you might not have fuzz on it because when I do my kiwi, I completely peel them first. So, you know, you could do it whatever way you want. And then I'm just taking the lemon lime twist and just filling that little bit in. However, I will say if you do this on a darker, just going to do like a little bit of a center there. If you do this on a crumb cake, it really does look very, very cool doing the white center, then the lime. I don't know, just something about the way it looked. It turned out pretty neat. Okay, now obviously because this is sitting here and we don't really want it floating, we're gonna have to ground it. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use, I think I might just use a little bit of ivory. Let's see. This one might be super light. Let me see. I want to test this on a piece of white just to see what it looks like. Yeah, that's just a little bit too light, the ivory. About 700. This is one of those. These colors that they have for the skin color blends are sometimes a little bit difficult to differentiate what color they are necessarily. But we just really want just a little bit of like a shadow effect. That's definitely entirely too light. I think I'm going to have to just switch over to a very light gray and call it a day. So I'm going to go with light smoky slate. Just like that. Doesn't have to be perfect. I'm just kind of eyeballing it. And then the other thing you can even do besides that, so that was light smoky slate, is, let me grab my watercolor pencils, and I have basic gray. Just adding a little bit of detail to the shading. And I'll bring this up for a closer view once you're done so you can see what I mean. It kind of softens it a little bit. You could just eliminate the Stampin' Blend and go with this from the get-go. So, did a couple videos recently with the watercolor pencils. So, there's what it looks like up close. So, it does give it a little bit of a dimension like it's seated there. So, there's that. And the only other thing I think we need to figure. So, obviously, you could do like a hello. You hold the kiwi to my heart. I kind of wish we would have had something aside from that. I think it would have been cute. But I'm trying to do something that's just like a, what's new? That's cute. That's hey there. That would be equally cute. I feel like the what's new was just a little bit bigger, but I could be wrong. Good luck. Yeah. Here it is. All right. So I'm going to just kind of eyeball where I want this. I'm trying to keep my sentiment somewhat straight-ish. I do have a stack of paper underneath of here, so me stamping it on this, as long as I hold it still, will definitely give me the desired backing. Again, I'm going to hop in here with the VersaFine. And then I'm going to just kind of eyeball this. Hopefully that's somewhat straight. Just give it a second. Oh, cute. Nice inking. That turned out well. That's why I love that VersaFine. If you've never tried that before, you got to give it a shot. All right, so I think that looks pretty cool. I think lastly, I'm going to just add a little shimmer to the center. I really need to start separating my Wink of Stella pins so I can tell which ones are or aren't used, because this is not Wink of Stella, but same idea. Okay, so I'm just kind of going over the green portion. Being careful not to touch the black because you don't want black smears after you went through all that trouble, but we'll definitely give it a little bit of sparkle to that. Just like so. Okay, perfect. All right, and then the only thing I think I'm going to do is I was going to just mount this. I might do a little bit something on the inside, maybe with just a strip of this and filling in the splatter or something. So I think that's definitely what I'm going to do. So let me find, here it is. I was like, where did I put my base card? So I have my base card. And you know what's funny? Because looking at these kiwi slices, like, it was all fine. This is cute. But now, I'm like, I like this with the fuzz a little better. I probably could have gone just a little bit farther over here. I'm going to bring this down just a smidge. Is that light? Because I feel like I kind of need to just narrow it out so it gets to the edge. There you go. Just for that, I guess the visual aspect of it, I don't know. I probably have my proportions completely off, but it made me feel better that I went back and did that little, little adjustment to it. Okay, so if I had the pearlized enamel effects in the metallics, this would be a great time to make those little dots, and then you could use them on your card. I've been trying my very, very best. This year, I have bought one embellishment. I have not purchased any ribbon. I have so much ribbon. So I made myself a promise that until I went through the stuff that I had, I was not going to purchase, and I'm going to put another panel on the inside. So we're going to let that sit and dry for a minute. Was not going to purchase any new ribbon or embellishments. I made one little, I guess, leeway for myself when I bought the in color paper. Pretty sure these are new. I got the glossy dots assortment because I think these are so cute. I really, really like them. So you could totally add this to it. Like the yellow ones would be great. But aside from that, I was like, you're going to have to wait. You're going to have to use some of your stuff. So I've been handing out some stuff to my stamp club people. Been getting rid of some stuff on the buy, sell, and trade pages. Just, you know, getting rid of some things that I just have too much of. All right, so I have a piece of this that's already cut. Where is it? There it is. So I'm going to stick with this. I'm going to just trim off a piece. I'm going to put it along the bottom, so it does need to be 5.5. So I'm going to go with a little 1/2 inch strip. And I'll make it 5 1/4. So I have a little piece here. And then just to finish that, I'm going to grab one more little thing. I'm going to do the little splatter. I think these splatters, I know these are in so many stamp sets, but boy, if you really need just like a little something to add to something, it is a great thing to be able to add to it. So this is going to go, let me just smooth this out a little bit. This is going to go across the bottom. And then I think I'm going to do a little bit of splatter just straight across prior to putting this down. And I think just for like a little bit of cohesion, I'm going to do it with pecan pie. So I'm going to take my pecan pie. I saw Jackie Bolheist did this recently. So when you stamp these dots, I'm going to show you the difference of what she explained. When you stamp these dots, if you push them down full strength, you'll get rather large dots. But if you really are delicate when you lightly tap them, they're much lighter. And then you can get like different, obviously, generations of ink. So this is a full hard press. This is full ink with a really light press, second and third. So that's what we're going to do straight across the bottom of this card prior to adding this little strip. So I'm going to just be super, I don't want it to be up really, really high. Delicate. Okay. And there's that. And then I'm going to just add my little strip with some liquid glue. And we'll just put this on the very bottom. And then, even though we are doing a little bit of overlapping, which I'm okay with, you could put this up a little higher if you wanted to, but really it's just something for visual interest on the inside of your card. So again, if you hopped in late or you're watching this on the replay, on Wednesday, June 21st, if you order from Stampin' Up, you can head to my online store, rachthestamper.stampinup.net. You can find the links in the description of this live YouTube video. If you don't see the little red button up in the corner, it means it's like right there. It means we are no longer live. You're watching the replay. However, they do have free shipping for $75 or larger orders on Wednesday, June 21st only. You can shop directly in my store and it will give you that deal. You can get any of the supplies that we used today for this card. Everything as of right now is still currently in stock. We'd have some new stuff coming out July 1st. We will have an update to the online exclusives, which is exciting because we'll have some new stuff there. So free shipping. I'm just sliding that over. And here are the other cards. So these are the cards that I made previously. I made these the other day at like 11:30 when school was out, and I was like, I feel like I need a little stamp therapy. So I stayed up late by myself and made a whole bunch of cards. It was quite fun. I really, really had a great time. Stamping by myself. I mean, stamping by myself isn't fun, but stamping and be able to just do what I wanted to do while I was in my craft room. That was the part that was fun. So which of these are your favorite? Do you like the fuzzy kiwi better? Do you like the peeled kiwi? I mean, I guess they really wouldn't have this black rim on them. Who knows? And then if you missed it as well, don't forget to go back and find out. I showed you how to you can make your own dots, depending on what colors you have. So these are really fun. So you could use these. I'm sure other companies have these little dots as well, but as long as you have these little acetate sleeves, you can make your own. And the best part is you don't need adhesive for these. They just self-stick, which is even better. I think that's pretty amazing because this one that we popped on here at the last minute was a self-sticker. So again, I thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you for joining me today. I know I haven't been live on here in quite some time. It's very difficult to be able to do it throughout the school year, but since summer is here, I'm hoping I can get on at least a little bit more in between having some fun with Rainbow Stamper over the summer. We have some plans of going to Diggerland, which is in New Jersey. If you are in the New Jersey area and you have a child or a grandchild that is about, I guess I'll say anywhere from 4 really and up, because adults of all ages can operate this stuff at Diggerland, which is really fun. But it's a construction-based theme park in New Jersey. Super, super fun. My best friend bought Christian season pass a couple years ago, and we've gone every year since because it was definitely a really, really lot of fun. You can actually dig dirt and excavate stuff, which he thought was just like the thrill of his life. But after that, they actually even added a water park to it, which they call the Water Main. So I think that's also pretty hilarious. They're definitely very much play on words people at Diggerland. But if you have a kid, a girl or a boy, or a teenager, or a husband or a wife who loves to do things construction-wise, it really is a lot of fun. And then the other part that's really cool is if you have a spouse that's really not into that, they can go over to the water park. They have a great wave pool, and they have a big lazy river. They have a lot of interactive stuff for like little kids where it's kind of like a little splash pad. But they added something new this year, and it was one of the rides, I believe. The Water Main was a big addition a couple years back. But if you've never gone, and I tell people this all the time because I don't know, I feel like I'm the spokesperson for Diggerland. It really is a lot of fun. It's a really cool idea for a theme park because, you know, kids love digging. And if they're not digging in your yard, that's even better because you don't have to plant or clean up after it. And then the other place we hit is Hershey Park, which if you aren't familiar, Hershey has their own park. They also have a water park, and then they have roller coasters and everything, but we like to go when the water park is open. But I think the funny part is when we're at Hershey Park, we spent more time in the water park portion, and then when we're in Diggerland, I am probably more in the water park, and Christian is in the excavating part doing his thing over there. But the nice part about both of those are they're all included together, which is pretty cool. So I want to thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful day. If you'd like to get any of these supplies, you can head to my online store. It's open 24/7. You can shop till you drop, or your wallet or your mom makes you stop. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. And if you have any suggestions or something that you'd like to see done, and also I would love to know which is your favorite, which of the kiwis. Do you like the peeled or the fuzzy? Because I'm still a little bit torn, but I think the shadowing on this is pretty cool. So thank you guys very much for joining me. Take care, and I hope to see you again real soon.